to be with you today. Dima and I are really excited about sharing mindfulness and meditation with you. And I want to just thank you all for your work that you do as financial first responders. Nurses, I'm a nurse. Nurses are getting a lot of credit, but I don't think you guys are getting a lot of credit. So thank you for helping people with helping them save their businesses. It really is anxiety producing. So thank you for your work. And I'm hoping that what we discussed today will help you stay calm and help your clients stay calm too. So anyway, mindfulness is being aware in the moment, right? Basically, that's it. It's really being alive in your day. But what's so interesting to me about being aware in the moment is that it is proven that most of us spend most of our time ruminating about the past or worrying about the future, especially now in this time of the pandemic, right? We're just worried about what's going to happen. And then in addition to that, we have 95% of our thoughts are repetitive. So what we are thinking today is what we thought yesterday, and then what we thought the day before, and then what we thought the day before. And then in addition to that, most of these thoughts started from what we learned in our childhood from age 1 to 6. So when I learned all this, and I don't know if this is resonating with you, I thought, wow, whose life am I living anyway? Am I living just thinking about other things, or am I living in the moment? And that's the incentive for me to kind of bring myself back to living now. Because really, we could go through life never really living our true life. We could be living just always worried. I was brought up with a mother that worried all the time. I don't know if anybody else was. So it really is a nice reminder to not miss out on life, to really live your life to the fullest. And so Dima and I are going to go through some different techniques. And the funny thing is about meditation is that it's really not doing that takes us into that idea of being here, being present. So to teach it is kind of like teaching someone how to describe the wind or describe ice cream or chocolate. Like, you could say it's ice cream or chocolate or creamy or sweet, but it's not until you actually taste it that you know what it tastes like, that savoring, that wonderful, delicious taste. And similarly with meditation, it's not until you experience it that you really can not even explain it. It's just kind of become it, just really becoming fully in the present. So Dima and I invite you to maybe take some notes as far as how you feel after these different exercises we're going to be doing. And these exercises are merely to kind of get away from those thoughts, that thinking mind, and taking us into the present so we can live our life to the fullest. So I hope that sounds really amenable to you. I wanted to give you, though, the actual definition for mindfulness, just so you know it, from John Kabat-Zinn, who made mindfulness actually really popular many years ago. And mindfulness is just being aware, paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. So paying attention on purpose and then getting that judgment out of there. So that's kind of like one of the official meditation definitions. But like I said, it's going to be your own experience that describes what meditation is. So we're going to get started. I wanted to make sure that everybody had a mask available because we try something new. We was doing this, but we're going to try some breath work with our masks on, because in the United States of America, you're probably wearing a mask at some time throughout the day. So if you don't have your mask, get started. From what I understand, some of you are at work, physically at work, and some of you are working from home. So wherever you are, if you would kind of close down any distractions. If you have even your phone, if you want to turn your phone off, unless you're listening to this through your phone, closing the door, kind of limiting any intrusion so that you can be alive in this moment to honor yourself in this webinar. And you don't really need to worry about remembering anything. First of all, this is being recorded. And secondly, I do have a PowerPoint that's going to go over most of the things I'm saying. So if you're interested later on, we can send you that. So just relax, just not worry about anything. You're working so hard as it is. Some of you are probably even homeschooling your kids. So just for this moment, give yourself the time to just be here right now. So we're going to start. If those that are avid meditators, if you would just bring yourself to like that beginner's mind, right? We can all learn. We can all still learn. I've been doing meditation for many years, but I'm very much a beginner. So if you can just bring yourself to that beginner's mind, and I'm going to invite you to bring your hands to your belly. And I just kind of like teaching the breath this way. And first of all, the breath kind of takes us out of that thinking mind, takes us back into our body. So just bringing your hands on your belly and just inhaling and pretending that you're actually blowing a balloon up in your, expanding the belly. And then exhaling, bringing that belly backwards towards the spine. Good. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, back towards the spine. So I can't see you guys, so I'm just imagining. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, back towards the spine. If you become distracted into your thoughts again, just try to bring yourself back to the breath. It's okay to be distracted. It's actually pretty normal. So do a few of these breaths on your own, that nice expansion. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Just breaths on your own, and then feel you can just release the hands from your belly. If you have closed your eyes, you can open your eyes. Just notice. You don't need to do anything. Just notice. They say as few as 4 breaths can help change the mind from a reactionary mind. So just 4 breaths. So just feel. See if there's any change. There may not be, but just feel if there's any change. Allow your body to be your teacher. And then without manipulating the breath, I'm going to ask you to just on the inhale, say the word to yourself, the word soft. And on the exhale, the word belly. Inhale, soft. Exhale, belly. Inhale, soft. Belly. And on your own, continue with the soft belly breaths. Again, if you become distracted, just bring yourself back to your breath. Okay. And when you're ready, just open your eyes if your eyes were closed, and just notice. Just notice how you feel. Just by expanding the breath stimulates the vagus nerve, a large nerve that runs behind the diaphragm, and helps calm the nervous system, calms the nervous system so that you can kind of just live again in that nice presence. So just notice, hopefully you feel a little bit more grounded, a little bit more centered. Perhaps the thoughts are less chaotic. And then if you have your mask nearby, grab your mask. And maybe before even putting it on, think of your mask as a friend that protects you, right? Protects you from out there. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like somewhat claustrophobic. So I'm trying to just change that relationship I have with my mask. So if you feel compelled, put your mask on. I'm going to try to talk through my mask. And again, think of this as a hug, actually like a hug of your face. This shield, this beautiful veil that protects what's out there. And then begin your breath. Those breaths through just practice. You can do the soft belly breath, or better yet, you might just want to breathe in through your nose. Feel that cool air through your nose, and then breathe out through the nose or the mouth, feeling the warm air coming out. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose or the mouth. And see if you can allow yourself to just make this breath almost intoxicating. As if you're standing at the grocery store or just feeling panicky, you can bring yourself to the breath inside the mask, unbeknownst to anyone else. If you liked that soft belly, you could do soft belly. And then taking that mask off and breathing normally, and see how powerful that feels. Unobstructed breath. And again, if your mind becomes distracted, that's fine. Bring it back to the breath. No judgment. Good. So just take note. If you want to jot anything down, you can, on how you feel. We're going to do one more exercise before I turn it over to Dima. But I wanted to talk a little bit about what breath does, what meditation does, what mindfulness does. And there's many benefits. But the main one is it reduces stress and anxiety. There's so much anxiety right now, and they say that we watch the news, it stimulates our anxiety every 3 seconds. We spend, I read, 5 years of our life on social media. So whatever we're taking in from social media, it's just all encompassing. So what happens with that, I've had a history of a traumatic brain injury when I was really young. In fact, I wasn't even able to speak well. So I'm always interested in the brain. And what's so interesting about stress is that it actually shrinks the front of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, actually shrinks it. They study this. And it actually enlarges the part of the brain that makes us reactive, the amygdala, that limbic area, that reptilian brain. So what's wonderful, the one thing to take away perhaps from this is that meditation can flip that, so that this prefrontal cortex, this rational brain, gets larger and prevents us from going out and buying all the toilet paper. It gets us thinking rationally, so we're not just knee-jerk, I have to save myself, right? So very, very, very powerful, and such a bonus. So if you like the breath, share it with your family. I find that the breath is very contagious, and that's what we want to be contagious, not the COVID-19. Also, I wanted to mention that I studied, just because of my history, there's a few mantras that are being studied now that help memory, that really show the changes in the brain of the memory centers for people in early Alzheimer's. So I often share that with people too. I'm not going to share today, I don't have enough time, but just to let you know the potential of what the yogis knew from way, way back, but what we're studying now, which I think is just so exciting. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that it's shown to help the immune system, boost the immune system, and it also helps with pain, and also helps, there was one other thing I was going to say with it. It lowers blood pressure. They found that people with high blood pressure and that are immunosuppressed don't do as well if they get the COVID-19. So just thinking of the power we have just with the breath, keeping ourselves healthier with meditation, so that if we should get COVID-19, we should fare really well. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So the last exercise, because I want to say, so that we're on task here, the last exercise is more of an imagery. I tried to look at what bothers me. The mask bothers me. Also, sometimes some words bother me. And coronavirus makes me somewhat panicky, just the word. Corona actually means beautiful halo around the sun. Halo around the sun, that's a corona. Or corona means crown. So we're going to do, I'm actually running out of time, we're going to do a short meditation just trying to flip the word corona, so that when you hear it, when you hear people talking about it, when you hear it on the news, when you see it on social media, perhaps you can use that word corona to bring yourself to that state of just being relaxed, being centered, and not going down that path of worry. All right, which again doesn't help any of us, and really doesn't help your brain. So I'm going to invite you to get comfortable. You can actually do meditation anywhere. You don't need to sit like a yogi. You can do it standing, you can do it walking. So get into a comfortable position now. For right now, I would just use the chair, but just to know you can do meditation most anywhere. So if you're in the chair, make sure that your back is aligned, that you're not sitting back in the chair. This prevents energy from moving. So you want to be plant it with your feet on the floor, shoulders relaxed down the back, jaws nice and soft. And we're just, again, going to do just a brief imagery on this word corona. So imagine, and you'll see on my PowerPoint, there's a picture of a corona if you want to go to it, but later on that is. But imagine in your mind's eye this beautiful sun. And around the sun, there's this beautiful halo, this beautiful round halo of light. And as you bring your attention to that breath again, I want you to inhale and exhale like we did earlier, just feeling that beautiful breath already placating the nervous system. And then imagine that halo of light coming from the sun through that crown of the head, down to the belly, joining your breath on that expansion and release. The beautiful golden light as you inhale and exhale. And bring that light up now over the crown of the head, allowing that golden light to release the muscles of the scalp. Bring that light down over the forehead, the eyelids, the cheeks, the nose, the jaw, the tongue. Feel the warmth of the rays of that halo, just releasing and allowing you to let go. And now allowing that light to drift down to your neck and shoulders. Envisioning perhaps 1,000,000 fingers of light massaging your neck and shoulders. And just letting go. Bringing that light down your spine, down across your hips, across your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, your feet. And just feel the rays, the warmth of the light, allowing you to just be. Releasing, letting go. Allowing your tension to just dissipate back into the universe. And then with your next inhale and exhale, imagine that you are surrounded by a halo of light, your own corona. This beautiful, beautiful halo that keeps you protected, allows you to be safe, allows you to be alive in your life right now, in this moment. And knowing that you can bring that halo around with you at any time. Breathing in and breathing out. And gently bringing yourself back to your space, wherever you are. Grounding yourself to the earth. Allowing your feet to feel Mother Earth beneath you. perhaps keeping that halo of light around you. As you open your eyes, and just feel. This is your definition of meditation. How do you feel in this moment right now? Even if you're feeling distracted, that's fine. And again, if you want to open your eyes and jot any notes down before I turn it over to Dima. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ellen. That was beautiful. Hi, everyone. Thank you for your attention and your presence with us today. I have had a long interest in getting this nervous system of ours to be to feel the safety of the moment. And personally, I've had a history of anxiety, and I've experimented with many ways to relieve that anxiety. And I'd like to share with you today just a few things that I've personally kind of played with, that have worked for me and for my students. And one of the things I wanted to say is, first and foremost, that our anxiety in general stems from the misunderstanding that we are separate from the whole. And as soon as we feel separate, then there's a sense of aloneness and a sense of like, I have to do it alone. And then that's where suffering begins. And so the understanding that this human body is actually a creature just like any other animal that needs the warmth, the safety, sense of safety of the earth, the sense of safety of the breath, the connection with another nervous system, or with a sense of like of a pack, community. So kind of just overall, kind of important themes here to address. And having laid that out, there are some things to do if the system feels way overloaded with fear or stress. Let's say you're sitting at your desk and like there's just this anxiety that's going on, and there's just that I can't really settle myself into a meditation or into a breathing exercise, and there is something you can do. And I'd like to kind of have you have an open mind about the idea of kind of, if you're alone, then it won't be a problem. If you are with someone, you work with other people around you or whatever, you might feel a little silly, but you can always go somewhere, like to the bathroom or to a room, and do this exercise. And it's really playful. And it's called the Lymphatic Shake. And the Lymphatic Shake, I'll read you something here. It's a little definition of it, or a little blurb about it. It's one of the world's most ancient healing traditions. Many indigenous cultures have used shaking for healing and spiritual connection. So through this practice, energy channels are activated within the body, generating an inner fire that clears physical, emotional, or mental blocks. And on a more physical level, the rebounding or the bouncing up and down in shaking improves lymphatic circulation, because in addition to it being low impact exercise, the up and down motion causes the lymph one-way valve to open and close. So it's a way to help the nervous system and to also help the immune system. And both of these things are very important right now. And I use these techniques in all of my yoga classes, as well as personally, like as this coronavirus began and I would wake up in the middle of the night full of fear, I would literally just leave the room, go downstairs, and do a little bit of a shaking practice. And I'd like to do that with you today. So if you can just stand up, and hopefully you can still see me as I stand up. I feel like I need to put it somewhere higher. There we go. Wherever I go, there's light. So I hope you can see me okay. So the idea is to stand up, bend your knees, feel the ground under your feet, relax your shoulders, and really bring awareness first to the ground beneath you. And keep your knees slightly bent. And begin to just bounce, like up and down. Just bounce. So your heels are on the ground, your feet are on the ground, your arms are completely relaxed, and there's just this little bouncing effect. And we're going to do this for a while, so just bear with me. And as much as you can, see if you can let the body just feel the bounce. And see if it can kind of start to feel the energy flow. Maybe you can even close your eyes. You can let your arms feel the freedom. And continue to use the breath, feel the breath. And so this is where we can start to get a little bit more playful, because your body will tell you. Your body would tell you what would feel nice here. So one thing to do would be to start to shake the hands also. If the original just up and down bounce is enough, then just stay there, or experiment with some like wrist shaking. And then start to make that a bit more vigorous. You can even stop the shaking of the legs or the bouncing and just shake your wrists a lot. You might start to notice already some releases happening energetically in the body. And then I want you to take deep in breaths and a big, just letting it all out. Again, in. And a big. And as much as you can, now you can kind of combine the two. You might go up and down even more. And you can actually get a little bit more vigorous in your shaking. And you can kind of let the arms go forward and back. Just feel the release of all of that pent-up energy that you've been holding in your body. And know that this movement is actually releasing the fear from the body, the anxiety. It's releasing any kind of held on emotions that are no longer serving. And just keep going for just another few seconds. Maybe allowing the body to start to do something a little bit more different or creative. Maybe like stopping and kind of moving your body to one leg and shaking that entire other leg. Letting the feet release all of that tension. And then you can stop and take your hands and start to tap on the shoulder, starting with one arm, all the way down the arm, and then all the way, flip it, and all the way down the other arm, and then same on the other side. Tap, 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 tap. And then take that tapping into the chest. You can even take the fingertips and tap onto your chest. And take the tapping down onto your belly. And this is the area that we really want to tap. And notice the left side, the right side, and which area is your body inviting you to tap more. And see if you can kind of find the spot where it feels most helpful for you. The right side of the body, we've got all of these organs. We've got the liver, the gallbladder that holds on to so many emotions. The left side, we've got the spleen. So clearing it out with some tapping, and then going into the hips. And tap onto the hips. And tap down the legs. Maybe you can make some fists and tap onto the thighs, the outer thighs, the inner thighs. And go down to where the knees are and tap the front of the knees and the back of the knees. These are areas of energy tension that are pathways that we can clear out. And then shake up the feet a little bit more. And then tap the feet on the ground just to open up the pathways at the bottom of the feet. And go up, all the way up. You can tap onto the glutes and your kidneys, the kidney areas that held on to a lot of fear in the body. All the way up your back. And then your upper back. And then find the spot at the beginning of the spine where the spine connects to your skull. And tap that area to allow for that energetic flow to happen, and all the way up onto the crown of the head and onto your forehead, your eyelids, your cheeks, your jaw, down your neck. And then stand here. Put the left hand onto your heart, the right hand onto your belly. Take a deep in breath and let it go. One more time. Bring attention to your feet. Notice your feet on the ground. And feel the ground beneath your feet. Feel the ground beneath your feet. And feel the release of energy downwards. The release of energetic blockages happening from the belly into the hips, all the way down the legs, through the knees, and all the way down through the feet and into the earth. And continue to feel your feet on the ground. And as you maintain awareness of the feet on the ground, notice your hands. Notice the holding of the hands on the belly and on the chest. And allow any emotions to rise to the surface within this holding. And as we maintain awareness on the senses, the sensation of the feet on the ground, the sensation of the hand on the belly, the hand on the heart. Begin to notice the breath, the in-breath and the out-breath. And let the breath become more and more long and deep, so that it begins at the lowermost belly and rises all the way up through the ribs into the chest. And if you are fine standing there, you can stay, or you might find a seat and come back into the sensation of the feet on the ground and the hands on the heart and the belly, and the in-breath and the out-breath. Slow, rising breath, gentle breath. The heart is beating inside your chest without your doing. Life is taking care of itself. The in-breath and the out-breath are happening without your doing. You are being breathed. This inner silence inside your heart. The stillness deep within. And the hands holding the belly, holding the nervous system like a infant, like a baby. And if any sensation of discomfort arises, know that it's safe. Fear itself is safe. And by allowing the emotion of fear or any other emotion to arise within the safety of this holding, this Earth Mother, the hands, the stitching of the breath into presence. We are inviting an embrace to this energetic life force so that it can be met and it can flow. Silently and inwardly, repeat the phrase, "It's okay." Whatever is happening now, it's a happening within life. And yes, we are vulnerable, yet we are held. It's okay. This planet within which we live is spinning in space, and it is still held. The intelligence which allows a fetus to grow within a womb for 8 months, 9 months on its own, without our doing, is the same intelligence which is holding this nervous system now. It is okay. And each time that stress or fear arises, you can find the ground underneath your feet. You can open up your heart to the feel of the hands on the torso. You can open up energetically to your surroundings, any sounds that are arising in the moment. And you can even open your eyes and look around and notice that no harm is coming to you in this moment. And since we can't control the future, there's really no sense in imagining a terrifying future. Right now, in this moment, all is well. Deep in breath. And let it go. Beautiful. As you make your ways to your whatever you were sitting, I wanted to give you just a couple more possibilities or suggestions, especially if you're sitting at your desk throughout the day, to every at least 45 minutes to an hour to direct your sight away from the screen and find some kind of spaciousness to look at, something outside the window, at nature, or anything, a vista of some sort that will just allow you to expand your perception. And that alone can do magic for the nervous system and to the brain. And while you do that, bring awareness to that sensing of the feet on the ground. Resource the ground. It's like being charged, recharged, like an outlet that you plug, like a whatever that you plug into an outlet and it charges your computer. This is how the body, the human body, needs this earth, needs this oxygen, this breath, needs this connection, spaciousness, openness to all there is. There's this, we need this to feel that we're not alone, and then there's a little bit less suffering. So hopefully you'll commit yourself to such a practice on a regular basis. Thank you for your presence.
Thank you, Dee.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dima, and thank you, Alan. We appreciate that. You're taking the time to give us some instructions and some helpfulness. I like the feeling of the mask hugging me, and that all is well. All is well with the world. It really gives you a sense of calmness as well. So I'm unmuting all. So I think that everybody is unmuted now. If anybody has any questions, please raise your, go ahead and speak, raise your hand. You should be able to talk now. So. Unmute. Okay, again, we wanted to thank you, ladies, for your time. Very instructive.
If you don't mind, I have something I just wrote for the end, if that's okay.
Sure, go right ahead.
And I think Dima probably feels the same way. After meditation, oftentimes it's hard to come up with questions. We're hoping that people are just connected. So if there's questions later, we'll be willing to respond to those questions if people have any questions later on. But I wrote that this morning. This is for all of you. It's called Now Me, the sun in the hands. This is from Dima and me. I wish for you at this time of the pandemic is to be still and love who you are. Allow the aliveness to be systemic. You are one of life's beautiful stars. So breathe, dance, shake, and sing. Let go of the regret and the worry. In this moment, spread your wings as you create your magnificent story. So that's for all of you.
Beautiful. Thank you so very much. We appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
So as Ellen had mentioned that she had a presentation, we'll make that available through the daily scan. There'll be a link to that, so you'll be able to link to that on our website. Also, the recording of today's session will be available on the website as well, so that you can go back and listen to them as they guide you through a sense of peace throughout your busy, busy day. We cannot thank you enough for everything that you do for your members and everything that you do for the credit union movement. Again, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Bernadette. Thank you, Walt.
Thank you, everybody, for having us.
Thank you, Dima. It was so
You're
nice.
welcome. Thanks, Ellen.